didn't feel like we had, the force and the physicality that we needed to play against a team like that. And when you combine that with the way they shot the ball and we did, it's going to put you in trouble. So a lot we can do better, and we're excited about the opportunity.
What did you think of the offensive shot selection that you guys had?
Yeah, I think there was, it's the playoffs. You're going to get some tough shots, but I think overall we got a good amount of shots that we either can make or are used to taking. Again, there are going to be some moments where, things got a little stagnant and didn't go how we wanted to, but overall I think, especially after the first quarter, we picked up our screening and we're still able to get some open looks.
How would you describe the pace that the Pacers play at?
Fast. And you see it on film, but it's different when you get out there. And I think there are ways to combat that, and we took a look at that today, and hopefully we can be better with it. But for sure, you get out there and you try and simulate it in practice and you watch film, but they're really good. Halliburton's obviously the head of the snake with that pace, but they have anyone that can bring it. They all sprint to their spots, and we got to be a little better with that.
What most needs to change for you guys on the defensive end of the floor?
I think we just got to, be a little more physical, try and knock them off their spots. And they're a free-flowing team. The pace, everything they do, we got to find a way to take some of that stuff away, a little more ball pressure, whatever it may be.
Kenny mentioned that you guys are a protect the paint, protect the rim team, and that's what you've been throughout the course of this season. How do you do both in this series when they have you stretched out so much?
Yeah, again, it's you got to be in your spots early, so you can, take away those two-way closeouts. Physicality again is something you can do to combat that. And then got to be able to guard your yard, and I don't think we have a single guy on the team that isn't capable of doing that. Otherwise, they wouldn't be playing. So we've got the capability to do that. Just need to be just got to be better at what we're doing.
I think you're the third player that has used that phrase. Did that come from the coaching staff, or is that just like a common thing?
Which one? Guard your yard.
Guard your yard.
It's a pretty common thing, yeah. But that's definitely what you got to do against these guys.
You guys have had some success playing without Darius, obviously, in the postseason. But just when he's not on the floor and not in the game, just kind of how do you guys go about making up that absence? What are kind of the keys for that?
Yeah, obviously we rely a lot on Don and Ty in those situations, and but I do think there are other opportunities, and we used a little bit of that last night to play through the bigs, play through Evan, play through Jay. We've seen Jay the last couple of years. He's really developed as a passer and can be kind of a hub of an offense with guys like Max, myself, Dre, even Isaac coming off those actions, and then screening for Evan, getting him involved, trying to get mismatches for him. That's the ways that offensively you can try and limit how much we do miss DG offensively.
I feel like Halliburton kind of their strategy seemed like they just put Jared Allen in a lot of actions last night. Just kind of what do you think that opened up, I guess, for them, or what do you think they were sort of trying to do to see for them on film in that sense? Yeah,
I mean, Jay is a guy that we trust to guard out on the perimeter, and Halliburton's a tough guard. He's a really good player and a really good passer as well, and I think we probably got overextended a little too much, allowed him to get to his jump passes and his skip passes and whatnot. So whatever the adjustment is, it's trying to keep shrinking the floor, make these guys play in tight spaces, try and again up our physicality a little bit, and just overall play better.
That said, when you look at the tape, the balance between stepping up the perimeter defense and some of their shots just were falling and they were on in that game. Where do you find the balance when you guys are watching that?
Yeah, I mean, they did make quite a few tough shots, end of clock shots, and that's the stuff you can't worry about so much. It's the breakdowns from communication, the breakdowns in transition, where we give up open shots. That's the stuff we want to clean up, and hopefully those other tough shots, hopefully next game won't go in.
How difficult is it to find that physicality that you've mentioned a few times while the game is being played at such a high pace?
Yeah, you got to try and dictate, and that's what they do. They dictate their pace, and we're a team that likes to play fast, and they dictated our pace last night. They were very physical and didn't allow us to get to our spots. So it's Kenny always talks about you got to fight for your real estate on both ends of the floor, and they won that battle last night, and that's why they won the game.
Do you think them being as physical as they were with you guys on the defensive end, and then you guys struggling yourselves on the defensive end, did that kind of contribute to maybe some of the threes not falling and you guys not getting into a rhythm on the offensive end yourselves?
Yeah, it could have. I think that definitely plays a part in it. But again, there's, they got more open threes than they should have gotten, and we probably didn't get as many as we'd like, but they made theirs, and we didn't make as many of ours.
Kenny yesterday and a few of the guys that talked mentioned no one was too down, I guess, as a group after that loss. What has the attitude been like coming in today for you guys as a group?
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. Just one game. We just got to go out and try and win the next one. But obviously, we had a good film session looking at what needs to improve and what needs to be better, and there's a lot of things. But I don't think it's totally tactical. There are tactical things you can do, but a lot of it's just, getting that force, getting that focus back for tomorrow night.
When you guys have
Just the last
struggled
question.
defensively this season, there's been a lot of overhelping on the defensive end. Is that more of a physical or a mental change that needs to happen going into game two?
I think a lot of what we need to do better is on the mental side, whether it's communication, getting to our spots early, just having the right defensive mindset. And then again, they try to spread you out. They try to get you in rotation. And it's not like we've never played these guys before. We've had some, how it needs to be done. We just got to up our level a little bit.
For you just guarding on the perimeter, what is it like chasing around screens and rotations and having to find your man, but also trying to make sure that nobody's left open in a corner or something like that?
Yeah, it's tough. It's not easy, but it's what our job is. So it's why we're out on the floor.